Okay, hello, welcome to tonight's Ethereal Epiphanies. Y'all, I thought that I was gonna be able to come out here, sit in the let me show you. This is the bench where I sit sometimes. And I didn't realize the snow is so deep. I have not been out. And so I'm like, oh, you know, I'm thinking like it's not super cold, but honestly, like the wind is pretty bad. And when the sun goes away the wind hits, it does feel pretty cold. But I was thinking like, "Oh, like, it must be so nice for me to go to the lake and, sit maybe for 15, 20 minutes, talk to you guys, and just enjoy the scenery." So, yeah, I just figure I'll show you the lake now. But, yeah, I had a lot to talk about today. I guess I just wanted to come on and just say, like, "Hey, just an update." I just had a conversation with the guy. Actually, I had many conversations today because I've shared, if you're new here. Oh, sorry, I didn't do my intro. So my Ethereal Epiphanies, Nice Ethereal Epiphanies. This is a channel. You know what? I can sit down for a bit. Let me go sit down. Hold on a second. Okay, let me see. I guess yeah. So I decided to sit down because it actually is not that bad. It's not too bad. I think I can sit down and just talk for a bit. And as long as the wind is not, preventing you guys from being able to hear me, I think you'll be okay. I came out in the snow after work because I just want to take in the scenery as much as possible because I love the snow. I love the snow. Yeah, I just want to take everything in because I don't know what my life is gonna entail over the next 2 weeks. Yeah. I don't know where I'm gonna live. I have no clue, nothing. And that is what sparked me to just go ahead and I always carry my tripod thing with me, but what sparked me to open up the camera is that, which I think I was saying earlier in my other video. I mean, earlier, is that I just had a great conversation with the Uber driver. I have to speak on there. Listen, New York, listen, I need a place to live. I need a job. Like, listen, I need help right now. I just like, I literally at my job today, I went around telling everybody, you know, of a room I could rent. You know of a room I could rent. Because really, just being honest, if I could stay in this area and rent a room for a couple $100 a month and stay at this job even for another month, that will really help me financially because I do have some things to pay off. And my freelance money helps take care of some things, but this job, it's not a lot at all, but it helps even a tiny bit. Like even I don't even know what to do. I'm just like, should I go to the shelter? Like I've also heard really bad things about a shelter. About shelters. Also, the fact that I was just talking to someone recently who is in a shelter and she thankfully got some help out of it. As I was saying before, she has kids. Like when you're a single woman and you don't have kids, it's so hard to get in. And and I was just told, especially if you don't have kids and stuff like that, you're more prone to abuse. I'm just like, I've had so much abuse in my life, even more so recently. I'm just like, I'm trying to stay positive and say, I'm not really sure how much more I can handle without going insane. Anyway, back to what I was saying about the guy. So I was just talking to a guy, the Uber driver on the way here, and you know, I was telling him like, because I saw he had a New York license, and I was telling him like, listen, I'm thinking about doing a GoFundMe and taking that money to New York where I can live and survive and be okay. And he was like, no, like you shouldn't do that. You should work harder to like, find a job here. And I was telling him like how IT has changed, and he was saying, yeah, he's been hearing that, but he didn't know to what extent. And I was like, yeah, I've been looking for a while. In fact, all of my friends who are not software engineers have also been having a hard time. Especially, like, some of my friends, like, that work in, like, UX design and stuff like that, and but then on the other end, I have friends who have been at their same job since the pandemic, at least in my type of work. Okay, like, my phone cut off. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what I was talking about now. I have no clue what I was talking about. But anyway, the whole point was that the point is that I think I did a post before, or sorry, I did a video before saying that I'm thinking about dividing this channel like by playlist. So book reviews, ethereal epiphanies that go, transfers it into my writing, as well as doing like just daily vlogs, just like coming on and just talking about whatever, my day, etc. So I want this to be like the start of that. If I have 15 minutes just to come on here, talk to you guys, tell you what's happening in my life at the moment. So I think last, before I got cut off and I didn't see it because I was looking away, that I was talking to the Uber driver and just like sharing with him, I don't have a place to live, blah, blah, blah. I've been talking to people, I can't find work, et cetera, et cetera. And so thankfully, he was like really nice and he was like, that he might have some connections. He might know of someone or someone who can help me, whether it's with work or a place to stay, which is really nice of him. In fact, by the way, how odd, I mean, I don't know if any of these things are going to turn into anything, but how odd is it that I was praying about this because I'm just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. There's one person that I was really relying on for my next step, and I've come to realize I can't rely on them. And I don't got time to play. I don't have time for no back and forth. No, if, shoulda, coulda, woulda, no. I need to know. Is this going to be the plan? What's going to happen next? This is my life. I need to know that I'm okay, that I'm safe, etc. And and I hate to say this, and I gotta stop saying this as a Christian. Why did I do Christian like that? But I just don't have time for the BS. I really don't. I do not have time for the BS. Like, I don't have time for people that are like BS artists. I really don't. And so I'm just like, listen, I'm just completely like counting that out. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with that. Thank you, but no thank you. Because something that life has taught me is that I've dealt with people who are true, what I call villagers. All about community, all about helping each other. It's not a one-way street. We all help each other. People that are real about helping others, they just go and do it. It's, what do you need? How can I be there for you? Let me go do it. But I think I might say this in another video. There's others who are like, they just like to say they help other people. Oh yeah, I helped this girl and she was homeless and she was down bad and, I just wanted to help her out. But they just love saying that, but not actually doing the work behind helping other people. And I can say that because I used to have friends like that. I mean, honestly, it's not my place to judge them and say if they were genuine or not. But I did have at least one friend like that. Like, I always felt like her altruism wasn't like real. It wasn't because she just wanted to be a good person and help other people. It's because she loved to brag. Because to me, if you help somebody and you immediately brag, did you really help because you wanted to help or just because you wanted bragging rights to say, oh yeah, like this weekend I was hard at work helping. I was, because I've done things for lots of people that I've never talked about. You know, I have a friend, and I haven't told too many people this, but when I had a nice salary, I had a friend that she was struggling for a bit, and I remember all the people that helped me, and all the people that helped me to like when I got my first apartment, I needed 3 months rent, and I had that, and I had a big bill come up, and yeah, I had to choose between the two, but if I didn't pay that big bill, that would have affected my it was like a big thing, whatever. I remember the people who are in my life who I didn't even tell them. In fact, I was gonna sell my laptop. I didn't even tell them that I wasn't okay financially. But I just remember like I needed the first month, second month in security, whatever you call it. First, last, and security for this apartment. And I had two friends in my life that had just given me money. They had heard that I was trying to get an apartment and they just, "Hey, listen, this is your first apartment. You are" I was literally I was a teenager, right? I think I was 19. Yeah, I was 19. going on 20 or 20 going on 21. I always forget. But either way, I was very young. This is my first place completely on my own, etc. And I was under the age of 21 for sure because I remember it wasn't until a long time later that I was able to even buy alcohol. I wasn't even old enough to buy alcohol. So that's how I know I was very young when I got that apartment. But, so anyway, so I remember those days. And so when I had a salary that allowed me to give to others, I didn't tell anyone, but I had a friend that I helped her out with her rent a lot because I wanted to see her get on her feet the way that I got on my feet. And I trusted that she was going to get herself together. And she did. And she did, right? And so I felt, listen, someone did that for me. I can give it forward. And for, I don't know if she told other people. I asked her not to, but I never told anyone I did that. What I would do is say, hey, so is okay right now. Maybe like just to check in with them and just see if they need anything. But I wouldn't say, oh yeah, so and so needs help with their rent. And I help them. Can you help them next month? So I tried to be a little bit more tactful with, and I would, and back then, yeah, I would say to other people who also and this person like, hey, I think so and so is having a little bit of troubles. You should just check in with them and see how they are and like if they need anything. And that was it, right? That being said, with this person, and a lot of times I get these kind of people a lot in my life who are like they're all about helping just to say they helped. And it's like even when I don't really need the help, it's no, let me help you because you don't ever ask for help. You struggle because you want to. And it's no, I struggle because I know what happens with people that like are so pushy to help you. And the type of people, like I mentioned, that they want to help you just for accolades and saying that they helped you. A lot of times those people try to abuse their power with you. And I know that. It hadn't happened to me too much, but I've seen it happen with many other people. And but people think that I don't want to accept help. It's not that. It's that I don't want to be stuck in the cycle of abuse and being taken advantage of. And the few times I have taken help, that is what has happened. That is what has happened. I mean, I can't even talk about what I'm going through right now. I gotta wait until the new year because I can't talk about it now. But in a lot of cases, when someone, not a lot of cases, I'll say this: in my experience and what I've seen with some others, you either get one or the other. You get people who genuinely want to help, want to see you do better, they care for you, etc., and there's no strings attached. And you got the people who the strings attached and there's a microphone attached to the strings. It's dance for me, dance for me, puppet dance, and as I scream to the world how I'm helping you. Sorry, that is me making light of all this, just to keep a smile on my face. But also, I'm being serious because that is really how it is, right? You know, a lot of people when they help you, they put word s- stipulations on you. And so I've seen that a lot. So for me, it's not that I don't want to accept help. Like I'm happy to accept help, but from the right people. And yeah, and if I even notice even a tiny bit that you're the type that's like, you know, the strings in the microphone, I'm like, so anyway, that being said, I could be the person to just shut up and just take it. I don't want to do that because that's what got me in this place. That's what got me here in the first place. So anyway, yeah, I just have to be in this next chapter. I have to be very careful about who I accept the help from. Honestly speaking, if I could go to a shelter where I don't have to experience abuse and there's basic cleanliness, I would love that. Would help me to get on my feet. Because the big thing is that like I need to stay in one place because every time I'm in one place and I get a job locally, etc., whatever, I have to move again. And then also I have another thing that's happening in my life where I have to stay in one place for actually really 6 months. But if I do not stay in one place for 6 months, that sets me back with this thing as well. So just to go back a little bit, that's what I was praying about, just to find something that would help me with that stability because I feel like I do feel mentally stronger now than I was before, at least like meaning like earlier this year and last year. I feel like I'm waking up to the old Naya. It's close. I'm not taking abuse. If you wanna be nasty, mean, and abusive, that's fine by you. I have every right as a grown human being to move on. Which also, I guess, just quickly, I was thinking about this as well because I was, like, reading on Reddit, just people who are going through similar things with as me, like, when you're dealing with family that's abusive and stuff like that, and, family that, because I have a coworker, same thing, when she just needed, like, a little bit of help, couple months to stay in a place, she was met with abuse all over again, and, um, yeah, sorry, I forgot where I was going with that, but the point is that I don't wanna be stuck in that. Now that I know what that looks like, and that especially when it comes to family, it's help from family will always equal abuse. It will always equal being mistreated. It will always equal abuse. I have to just cut family out again. I don't know if I share this on here, but like I went no contact for a very long time. Like I did minimal contact and then I went from minimal contact to no contact. And now that I feel like, cause a lot of families said, oh, not a lot of family. It was one person said, "Oh, you just use us. You just want us here for this, and that." And I was like, "That's not true at all. If you see that I'm in need and you chose to give to me, I appreciate that. But I never want like I could say how many times I've actually asked people for money. I have a list because I keep track of how many times I've actually asked anyone for help and money. And it's not like my family could say, "Oh, she just takes our money and just goes on." Never ever. I'm not my parents. I think I've worked the hardest out of maybe 2 or 3 generations, really. Actually, like, two generations. So, when that person said that, it was, like, really upsetting because 'cause I've never the last time I asked for money was when I was in college and I found out that a family member had used my social and took out loans, and I was working, like, multiple jobs to pay for college, and I couldn't take out, like, a loan myself, so I asked a family member if they would mind co-signing a $3,000 loan. I said co-sign. I didn't ask for $3,000 cash. I said co-sign. And I was told no. And then I literally found out, I can laugh about this now. I literally found out that same person had given another family member that same amount of money for something so crazy. If I'm going to say this on camera, for hair extensions. So I want to feed my brain so I can make money and get an education and bring myself out of poverty and bring myself out of this scarcity mindset that the rest of the family has. And you tell me no, with no reason why, just because, sorry, I can't. And I found out you couldn't because you have to give someone else money for hair extensions. I don't know. It's crazy. Like, my life's crazy, my family crazy. So, yeah, I mean, really, I mean, has the family given me money since? Yes. Have I ever asked for it? No. I've never asked. And the thing is, how some people, like, they'll be complaining, like, "Oh my gosh, like, I have all these bills and things." That's not me. Because I feel like when people do that, it's like, so they're, like, trying to ask you, like, without asking. I'm not like that. If I need so badly, I'll just ask. So anyway, sorry to go on a tangent there. But, yeah, so the point is that just, like, rolling everything back is that I know from firsthand now, I didn't know before, but now I know firsthand that help and support from family comes with abuse, and I will not be taking that. I wrote an Ethereal Epiphany on this about me redefining my self-respect. And that's me redefining my self-respect. I know it is very Western culture to leave your family if you experience abuse and stuff like that. And I do know, like, in other cultures, it's normal to stay in and work it out and just try to deal with the family and work around that. Even therapy too. Like, I remember I was talking to one of my friends and she had said this. Yeah, I started to research this about how American or Western and American therapy is very like westernized and it doesn't keep in it's westernized and what's the other word she used? It's based on individualism. It's based on you and yourself and not the family as a whole. I was like, you know what? That's true. But I think that also applies to American culture, right? I think that sort of therapy applies. It can apply here. You can move on without your family. You can do well without your, especially if you're dealing with abuse. But that's not the case in many other places. So when you have someone from another place and culture and they come here and they seek therapy, that therapy doesn't work for them because, you know, I had a friend who was born and raised in the United States. Okay. First generation. Yeah, first generation. And this person was forced into an arranged marriage. Now, could they have just left their family and done XYZ? Yeah, they probably could have. But that mental hold was that I remember them telling me, I don't want to be without my family. I don't know what my life would look like without my family. I don't know if I could survive without my family. And because family is so deep into that person's culture, and they even felt, I can't see these words on YouTube, but they felt certain ways and they felt like they had no way out. They had to just deal with the family, deal with the abuse, deal with the divorce marriage, etc. And, I felt for that person because I was like, I'd rather sleep in Central Park than to go through that. But again, that's because I have that, I don't know if it's a luxury. I'm not. But I had that sense of, I guess, individualism, like this other person of, oh no, I don't have to deal with that. I'm going to pick up, move on, pick up, get on with my life, pick up, do better. And without all these stipulations. So, anyway, this conversation went much deeper than what I had thought I was going to talk about today. It's all stemmed from like the Uber driver and talking to him about everything and just, you know, a big part of all this is just saying to myself, Naya, you don't have to deal with that. And with that is gonna come struggle. Like I know that I've got to deal with lots of struggle. But I feel I actually just wrote an Ethereal Epiphany on this, on having intellectual self-defense. I feel like my intellectual toughness has been regaining itself and regaining its layers. I think that I've been rebuilding my intellectual self-defense. I think I definitely had that before. Excuse me, but I think that I lost it. Like when you go through abuse, and I mentioned I went through it recently, gaslighting and stuff like that, you kind of lose your touch and you can kind of lose that mental toughness if you stay, in my opinion, I think if you stay in a environment for too long where you're being torn down, I think that definitely tears at your resilience, your intellectual toughness, etc. And so I definitely can say it's so hard to say that on here on camera to you guys, but you know, I think I might have said in another video, like I recalled a story with a coworker, an older white man who was like, after a meeting, he was like, "You're like, you're the real deal." He was like, "You have a lot of confidence," and it was so funny because he was like, because by the way, the whole office went to school at Yale and Cornell. I was the only person in the entire office without a degree. The only person without a degree. Even the receptionist. Only person. And I'll never forget, you know, he said he looked me up before I even got hired, but he couldn't find lots of stuff with me. Like he found some like YouTube playlists. But, so after that meeting, he was saying to me that he was so intrigued by like my confidence and how he was like, I put on like a soldier face, you know, when it comes to presenting, but like how I have like little pockets of like softness, which I didn't even realize that I do that. I guess maybe I'm actually just really nervous and it comes off as toughness. And then to calm down my nervousness, I crack a joke or I crack, something to make everyone smile. So, it's not, just all about, so yeah, anyway, so I remember, so this coworker had said to me, like, he kind of praised me on my confidence and, and my background, etc. Yeah, and he asked me questions, and he was shocked. He was shocked because he said, "Everyone thinks that you're college educated." I was like, "I got some college, but I'm really, like, self-taught in a lot of things." Like, like, when I couldn't go to school anymore, I audited classes. I did that at City College, I think also at Columbia for a little while. Yeah, I used to audit when I couldn't afford school anymore, I used to just audit classes, which many people don't know that you can do. I mean, you don't get any credit for it. But, if you just talk to the school and the professors, like, I don't know if colleges still do that anymore, but a lot of colleges back then, at least when I was in college and I had to stop, you can go to different schools and just say, "Hey, I wanna learn more about X, Y, and Z," and just ask to sit in a lecture, and you don't have to take any tests or anything like that. And, I said to him, and later another colleague had got involved in the conversation, and I was like, "Yeah, when I couldn't afford college anymore, I just would audit classes." And then just do self-study, and that was it, and I was just so determined to not go back to the environment that I was as a kid that I was just like, "I can do whatever I can, just be as knowledgeable as possible so that, I'll be okay." Also because I just love knowledge as well. I mean, you know, that's a privilege I'm realizing now I've grown up in New York City is that you could do stuff like that. Like, I'm actually I'm realizing how much of a privilege it is growing up in New York in a large city. Cause now that I'm in a small town, I'm like, if I was born and raised here, I don't know what my life would be. I wouldn't have had those opportunities maybe, right? I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think it says a lot to me that my confidence was recognized by many before. So that was just one example, but my confidence was recognized by many before. So it was there for a while. And I had to get that back. I had to get my confidence back. I had to get the old Naya back. The boss Naya Moss. For any of you who might know me from old Twitter. I had to get that person back. And that person can only come back with being in the right environment, not being around verbal, physical, emotional abuse, etc. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's just what I have to share with you guys today is, yeah, I'm figuring out next steps and whatever happens next, it needs to be, then the next steps have to put me in a position where I could regain my confidence, regain my mental toughness, regain my intellectual defense. And yeah, I'll see what I'll just see what happens from here. But yeah, a part of me is like freaking out, but also not freak. And the fact that I prayed about this and then immediately I met people who are like, all right, I don't know if any of these things will come to an what's the word, fruition. I don't know that. But I will say, okay, sorry, what is happening here? It's like a taxi cab. Oh no, sorry. It looked like a taxi cab was like driving up to this area for a sec. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if any of these things, because a lot of times people talk to and they don't actually mean anything. But I do hope that my prayer has turned into these people responding with possible leads, and then I can just take it from there. And that's it. That's all I can say from here. Is that I just hope that from here, it's only the best. In 2025, I want only the best. I oh my other grandmother just taught me about this quote, and I totally forgot it already. It's like something about don't stay where you're not wanted, or stay where you're loved and cared for. Something I forgot. I wrote it down, and I've kind of been saying something similar to it, but the one that she told me like really hit home. But for me, my thing is that this I believe to get back to my old self, but better. Right, so the old self as a basis, but better. I have to be in the right environment. And that means that whatever comes next, I hope that it leads me in a place in an environment where I could thrive and where I feel loved, cared, and welcomed. That might not happen right away, too, right? I might end up somewhere else, and it might not be great for a while. I think I can deal with that. But what I cannot do is allow myself to stay in those places for a long time. That's where I go wrong. Is that when you stay in a place where you're not cared for, loved, supported, etc., for too long, that's when it tears at you. Obviously, if I don't wanna end up in the street in the winter, I gotta go somewhere, so wherever that is, I have to do that, but don't stay in whatever place too long if it's not a right fit. But that's what I'm thinking right now, just because I did my plan is to go back to Europe or whatever, but I can't do that right away. So in the interim, I have to go somewhere and do something in the next 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. So yeah, I'll see where that takes me. But this has been almost 30 minutes. I thought it was gonna be 15 minutes, but honestly, I think this is more of a pep talk to myself. This is more of a pep talk to myself, and you're just like, you're here with me, listening to my pep talk, listening to me just talk through my thoughts out loud. It's really funny how many times when I think things in my head doesn't what's the word I'm looking for? When I think things in my head, it feels more like limerence. It feels more what's the right as maybe it's limerence. It feels more of like negative thoughts in like in a circle. But for some odd reason, if I talk about my thoughts out loud, it allows me to either be like, girl, what you're saying is or it allows me to be like, huh, light bulb moment. I didn't even realize you actually felt that way. So it's really interesting. But I feel like there's like psychology or something behind this. I forgot I don't right now. But there is something to be said about opening your mouth and speaking out loud about things versus letting them simmer in your head and letting negative thoughts or feelings, etc., just fester. And then you just let it overcome you. But there's definitely a power in just speaking things out loud, letting them out, and then just kind of moving forward, moving on. It for me personally, it helps in my like clear thinking process. I don't think clearly if I'm just like in my head like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so angry about this. Like, why did that person do that? That person, they betrayed me. They lied on me, etc." Right? For me personally, if I'm just thinking about that all the time, it's just negative thoughts circulating, but it doesn't go anywhere. I don't feel any better. I'm not thinking any clearer. I'm just it's like a cloud of just a circle of bad thoughts. But if I say out loud, okay, that person betrayed me, and I can't believe they did that. But you know what? That's on them. That made me realize that sometimes, many times, it's every man for himself, especially when it comes to family. People think of themselves first. How can I survive myself first? That person does not matter because I have to survive for myself. So that's how I process things because if I'm thinking in my head, I'm just thinking bad thoughts. If I'm thinking out loud, I'm like, okay, initial reaction is being upset, but okay, let me look at the whole situation. Why did the person do that? Is it something I'm not seeing? Is it something I did, etcetera? So I don't know if you all have that. Do you experience something as well? When it's just like, if it's in your head, it stays negative and it's a hamster wheel that just keeps going and it never gets better. And then if you talk out loud to a friend, not like a crazy person like me talking to you too, I'm just joking but not joking, that like you just feel better and think more clearly. That is unless you talk to people that allow you to sit in your negative thoughts, which is not good. But yeah, does that happen to you guys as well? Like if you just talk out loud, you just think better and more clearly and have more of an open mind to a situation that you're talking about? I don't know. Do you experience that? I do. I just did in this video. Even now that I'm talking about this, I'm just like I feel a little bit less sad about not knowing what's gonna happen next because I know that whatever happens, I have to just keep this well. That's the main thing. Keep this well. Keep the sanity. Keep the sanity. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's it for now. It's probably been like 40 minutes now. And I'm actually now just getting cold. And by the way, the sun is, it feels so good on me right now. It's been a little bit windy, but I don't know if you guys can see. the sun is it's like slowly going down. But I'm so happy that I decided to come out here and talk to you guys for a little bit. I feel so much better. I feel good. I don't know what's gonna happen in 2 weeks, but I feel all right. I feel okay. Really, I wish that I could do another video about um dealing with family around these times. I'll do this. If it's not too freezing cold tomorrow, I'll come outside again. And I like before, people celebrate the holidays for Christmas, stuff like that. I want to do a video talking about like how to keep yourself well and sane when you're spending time with family that you haven't seen in a while. And just share with you my personal experience and how I had to learn how to set boundaries. You can do certain things without going completely like no contact. You can. Because I have some family members, one family member that I told them, I was like, listen, I'm going no contact with you because you do X, Y, and Z to me. You are verbally abusive. When you get old, it's not gonna be anyone else to take care of you but me and my sister. Ain't nobody else gonna be around. We are the last of my family lineage, by the way. It, if me, my sister, and my cousin do not have kids, this family dies out like dead serious. It's not really funny, but I'm just being serious. I'm just being honest. If us three don't not have kids, the lineage is dead, right? So if we don't have kids, and this person gets older, who's gonna be taking care of you? It's gonna be me, my sister, and my cousin. And I don't know about the other two taking care of you. So I said that to this person, And can I tell you, just from even though I said it when I was angry, which I don't like to really say too much when I'm angry. I try not to, but I'm human, it happens. But with this family member, I was honest, like, yo, I'm cutting you off. I'm not taking this as an adult. As a kid, I had to, but not now. And it had built a beautiful relationship, And that person, I came back and was like, you're right. And, but that doesn't always happen, right? Like sometimes when you tell people, look in the mirror and then, let them know that you'll be cutting them off, they get angry, they get irate, they blame you, screw you, blah, 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 whatever, right? But I was actually really thankful and touched that even though the delivery was not okay, because I did really curse this person out. Like, I don't think, no, I have cursed someone out like that before. This was probably the third time in my life that I really I've cursed people out over text message, but actually, no. Yeah, actually, that was the second time in my life ever that I've cursed someone out. Like actual curse word. That was the first time, or the second time. And so unfortunately, it took me saying some really bad things, but, we talked about it. We both apologized, which I love that. I love that we said, listen, that was a toxic moment that we both never want to ever do again. And here's how we both feel, and here's how we both want to move forward. And I love that. I love that me and this person have been building our relationship since then. I've loved that so much. And so I wish that was the case with all family, but it's not. But I'm okay with that. One is better than none, right? Anyway, so I was thinking about just doing another video, just kind of like sharing some tips, things that have worked for me, things that haven't. And now it's getting really windy. And hopefully, yeah, if I can get it out, I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it in a room. I don't really like to do it in a room, but maybe I'll do it in a room. But I want to share with you all. I want to share the knowledge, take my life experience, give, like when I was younger, I loved talking to older people because I was like, yes, tell me all the things that you did wrong so I can avoid it. And so if you can learn from my life to avoid mishaps in yours, please just take it, listen, do it. Yeah, so I'm doing this because it's like getting pretty windy, but now my fingertips are feeling kind of cold and the sun is now going down faster. So anyway, thank you for listening to tonight's Ethereal Epiphany today. I'm so glad that I came here to talk to you all. I don't know when this video is gonna go because like I did a video the day before yesterday, and 2 days of trying to upload this video. 2 days because for some reason I don't know. I think I told you guys I don't have Wi-Fi, so I'm paying for Visible Mobile, which is like $50 a month, which is a lot for me right now. But I'm paying for that because of its hotspot capabilities without being throttled. But I think I've been uploading too many videos or something like that because I noticed now just one video takes me 2 days to upload. Oh, sorry. So I'm filming this on Saturday, and I hope this gets out by tomorrow, by Sunday. If not, as I said, I'll try to do this and another video before next week starts, but I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, you know what? Maybe, my job has Wi-Fi. I should bring my I don't work tomorrow. I was gonna say, I should go to my job and upload at my job or something. Figure something out. See, this is why I love talking out loud, because it makes me just think of all the things. So anyway, have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are. I hope you're staying safe and well and mentally and physically and emotionally okay during these times. Because, I can imagine it's the holidays and then you got the family stuff. And then, we got, for us Americans, and you got whatever's happening in January that we don't know about. It's a lot going on. So I hope that you're staying happy, okay, loved, and cared for. And I will see you. Oh, sorry. If you didn't hear me, I said, sorry, I'm late. I was saying, I hope you feel happy, loved, and cared for during this time of the year, in any time of the year. And I hope to speak soon. I hope this video could upload sometime soon before the week starts. And have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are. And I will see you soon. All right. Bye.